For many people, the day often starts with something simple. A bowl of oatmeal, maybe some fruit, a cup of tea. Everything looks healthy. Everything feels right. And yet after weeks of eating this way, there is still that quiet discomfort. Feeling of heaviness, slow digestion, sometimes even bloating that seems to come and go without a clear reason. What makes this confusing is the time difference. You can eat well for weeks, even months, and still not feel much change. But then, in just a few days, something small shifts, and suddenly your body begins to feel lighter, calmer, more balanced. Here's the surprising part. It is not always about eating more healthy food. Sometimes the missing piece is not more fiber, not more vegetables, but something much simpler, something that has been quietly used for generations: fermented foods. This may sound a little unexpected. After all, if you were already eating well, why would something like this make a difference? That question comes up often. And if this feels confusing, that's very common. Over the years, many home gardeners and home cooks have noticed the same pattern. When certain foods are prepared in a traditional way, the body seems to respond differently, not instantly. Gently, and often faster than expected. Before explaining why this happens, it helps to understand what people really mean when they talk about resetting. The gut. The idea of a gut reset can sometimes sound like a quick fix, as if the body can be changed overnight. But in reality, the body works in a slower, more thoughtful way. It is always adjusting, always balancing, always responding to what we give it. Inside the digestive system, there are tiny living organisms. These are often called beneficial bacteria. They help break down food. They support digestion. They even play a role in how comfortable or uncomfortable we feel after eating. When people talk about improving gut health, what they are really talking about is supporting these helpful bacteria, not forcing them, not replacing them, but creating a better environment for them to grow and work naturally. This is why the word reset can be a bit misleading. It is not about starting over. It is about gently guiding the body back toward balance. And that balance takes time. Many people expect quick results, and when they do not see them, they feel discouraged. But often the body is already making small adjustments, are just not easy to notice right away. This is where fermented foods begin to stand out, so they do something a little different from regular foods. When most foods are prepared, they're simply cooked or eaten fresh. But fermented foods go through a natural process. Over time, tiny microorganisms begin to break down the food. This changes its structure. The taste changes. The texture changes. More importantly, the way the body responds to it also changes. During fermentation, beneficial bacteria are created or increased. These bacteria are similar to the ones already living in the gut. So when you eat fermented foods, you are not just eating nutrients. You are also introducing helpful microorganisms. Another quiet benefit is that fermentation can make food easier to digest. Some parts of the food are already broken down before you even eat it. This can be especially helpful for older adults. As digestion may naturally slow down with age, this does not mean regular healthy food is not important. It still is. But fermented foods add something extra. They work alongside what you already eat, rather than replacing it. If you are new to this, it is often best to start gently. There is no need to rush or make big changes. Some of the simplest fermented foods are also the easiest to begin with. Yogurt is one of the most familiar. It is soft, mild, and easy to include in a daily meal. A small bowl in the morning, or with lunch, can be enough. Another gentle option is buttermilk. It has a light, slightly tangy taste and is often well tolerated. It can be taken in small sips, especially after meals. Pickled vegetables are also a good starting point, as long as they are naturally fermented and not heavily processed. A small portion alongside a meal can slowly introduce these benefits. Soft cheeses made through traditional methods can also fall into this group, depending on how they are prepared. Then there is idly or dosa batter, commonly used in many homes. The fermentation process in these foods makes them lighter and easier to digest. The key here is not to try everything at once. It is to choose one or two options and allow your body time to adjust. A common misunderstanding happens at this stage. Many people think that if something is good, then more must be better. So they increase the amount quickly. This is where discomfort can begin. The body needs time to adapt. Introducing too much too soon can overwhelm the digestive system. You might notice temporary bloating or changes that feel uncomfortable. This does not mean the food is bad. It simply means the body is adjusting too quickly. A slower approach tends to work better. Small amounts, gentle consistency, given the body space to respond. This leads to an interesting discovery. Over time, many people notice that smaller portions seem to bring better results than larger ones. At first, this can feel surprising. It seems logical to think that a bigger portion would have a stronger effect. But the body does not always work that way. When small amounts are taken regularly, the body has time to adapt. The beneficial bacteria begin to settle in. They start to work in a steady, balanced way. Large amounts, on the other hand, can create sudden changes. And sudden changes are not always comfortable. So instead of focusing on quantity, it helps to focus on consistency. A spoonful each day. A small serving with a meal. These quiet habits often lead to more lasting improvements. As you become more comfortable, you can slowly explore other fermented foods. Foods like kefir offer a slightly stronger option than yogurt, contains a wider range of beneficial bacteria, and can be taken in small amounts. Sauerkraut, made from fermented cabbage, is another traditional food. It has a stronger taste. So it is best introduced in small portions. Kimchi is similar, but includes spices and additional ingredients. It can be enjoyable for those who like a bit more flavor. Miso, it's often used in soups, is another gentle way to include fermentation in meals. Tempeh, from fermented soybeans, provides both protein and beneficial bacteria. These foods build on what you have already started. They are not required all at once. They are simply options you can explore over time. It is also helpful to understand that not everyone will have the same experience. Environment plays a quiet but important role. In warmer climates, fermentation happens more quickly. Foods may become stronger in a shorter time. This can affect both taste and how the body responds. In cooler climates, the process is slower. The flavors may be milder, and the changes in the body may also feel more gradual. Storage matters as well. Freshly prepared fermented foods may behave differently than those stored for longer periods. Even the time of day can make a difference. Some people feel more comfortable taking fermented foods earlier in the day, while others prefer them with lunch or dinner. These small differences are normal. They do not mean something is wrong. They simply show that the body responds in its own way. After some time, a deeper understanding begins to form. It becomes clear that the improvement is not only about the food itself, it is also about the pattern. This is the part many people overlook at the beginning. It is not just what you eat. It is how often you eat it. It's when you eat it, and how consistently. You include it in your routine. The body responds well to gentle repetition. Small, regular habits allow the digestive system to find a rhythm. Skipping days, and taking large amounts, then stopping again, can create an uneven pattern. And the body prefers stability. So the real shift happens when the habit becomes steady. Not perfect, just steady. At this stage, you may feel ready to explore more options. There are many fermented foods to choose from, and each one offers something slightly different. Traditional pickles made without heavy vinegar can provide natural fermentation. Fermented rice dishes, often prepared overnight, can be easier on digestion. Certain chutneys and pastes, when allowed to ferment naturally, can also support gut health. Fermented drinks made from grains or fruits can be included in small amounts. Even simple homemade preparations, using basic ingredients, can become part of this process. The goal is not to try everything. It is to notice what feels comfortable for you. Some foods may suit you better than others. Some may feel too strong. and that is perfectly fine. Your body gives small signals, a sense of ease after eating, a lighter feeling, more regular digestion. These are gentle signs that things are improving. There is no need to chase quick results. Changes are often subtle at first, then more noticeable. Over time, as this journey continues, one idea becomes clearer. You do not need to do more. In fact, sometimes doing less allows the body to do its work more effectively, instead of constantly changing your diet. Adding new foods every day or looking for stronger solutions, it helps to stay with what is simple and consistent. A small portion, a regular habit, a calm approach. If you are comfortable sharing, I'm curious what you have already tried. Have you included any fermented foods in your meals, even in small amounts? These shared experiences often help others feel more confident in their own approach. In the end, the body has a quiet intelligence. It responds to what we give it, but it also needs time and space to adjust. The right foods introduced gently and consistently, the digestive system often begins to find its balance again. And sometimes, the most helpful thing we can do is step back, observe, and allow that process to unfold naturally. Sometimes the body improves when we stop, trying to force change and simply support it in small, steady ways.